This episode of After Dark is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative topical podcast show for adults on the Boss Rush Network. It's your boy, LeRon, back in the house, and I got my squad here. So, hey, let's go ahead and just get the roll call done and out the way. Back from that wonderful place that we call the writer's room, the one, the only Yarri is in the house with us. Welcome back. It was great having you on last week, and it's great having you back this week. You're fantastic. All right, and I don't know, like I keep being accused of having a man crush on him. And you know, if that's what it is, I'll take it.
Accused?
Matthew Kiel is back in the house. The not so fly white
right
guy.
Back at you, LeRon.
I think Corey's just a little jealous.
Wow. Why is Corey already looking uncomfortable? Like, I haven't even said anything to him yet.
I'm just sitting here reading something.
Yeah.
Why is it so? Why?
Yeah. He's reading all right.
He's reading Mass Effect fan fiction.
I heard enough from that from Yarri on whatever show we just did. What show was that?
That wasn't Mass Effect fan fiction. That was Mass Effect fact.
It was the Boss Rush Citadel.
Yeah, but as
Citadel not so casuals, you know what I'm saying?
As always, though, the incomparable Mr. Boss Rush Media himself, Corey Dirrig, is back with me tonight. Thank you, man. What's up?
I'm still here for some reason. People still listen, so
hey, we like you. We like you. We love you. We want you. Take that any way you want to take it.
Look, we need you here because we don't want to answer the questions.
I know that.
Precisely.
I know.
I am always ready to answer and ask some questions.
No, the questions about where he is and why he's not here. That's smoke I don't want.
Yeah.
Any of the other questions, I'll bring them.
Yarri sounds really quiet to me. Is it just me?
Far away from the mic, I guess.
You sound far away from the mic.
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah.
Let me try this. Is that better?
Yes.
That's
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That works. So
I'll fix it in post.
I don't know that's how that works.
As always, After Dark always like in caps hump day. So like how's everybody's hump day been?
Well, I'm tired, and it's not from humping. So, it's been a
I can say there's no humpage going on over here.
So
What is
I mean,
this
it's
humpage you speak of.
Oh man,
Yarri, save us! Yarri, save us! You're the last bastion.
So me, I have plans. However, thus far, a distinct lack of humpage. I intend to rectify.
So everybody's just dry. The DMs are dry.
I didn't say that. I said what I said was there was no humping.
The words of De La Soul in Feel Good.
Today.
Don't stop. Get it.
LeRon, if it makes you feel better, my DMs are in fact very dry.
Mine are
actually
mine
quite empty.
Mine are dry, and I really shouldn't say that so loud, given that certain people can hear now.
You know that
You host at your own risk now, LeRon. Okay,
I do.
You know that TikTok that's been going around? Like, have you ever received a Snapchat from a girl and then it's always some dude that goes, nope, and then shows that whatever weird hobby they're into?
Yeah.
Mine is just, nope. Nothing.
Yeah. So it's
You guys
a Wednesday
are my
night.
weird hobby.
Speaking of DMs, like I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm only on Blue Sky, and
That's why I can't at you anymore.
yeah, well, you can.
Damn you!
You can at me. I just won't ever see it. But Blue Sky just got DMs, and like
They did
on the timeline.
Yeah.
Mutuals of mine were saying, well, I wonder where these DMs are. So I would just DM anybody that said that. Hey, I think you're cool. Hope you have a wonderful day. And barely got responses for that. So like, yeah, that's
Hold on. I'm going to Blue Sky right now.
Don't be sending me any DMs, LeRon.
Let's see where I can
No
slide.
one loves sending you DMs though.
Look, we're talking about DMs, and my
Actually,
phone just
it's-
buzzed 4 times from 4 different places, so I was concerned.
I'm not that fast.
4 times in 4 different places. Where did you have it?
Well, I had it in front of me, so I have a 2 DMs on Instagram, one for my personal account, one for Tower Casuals. I have one message on LinkedIn, and I have a Twitter DM. So
Sick.
you know,
Read us that LinkedIn message. No, I'm kidding. You don't actually.
no, I'm going to. Here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Cool. Sick. Let's do this.
Hold on, I gotta find it now.
My name is Clark, and I want you for a project.
I am a Nigerian prince.
Okay, nope. Here it is.
You don't want none of that.
Hi, Corey. I'm Ryan from LinkedIn. I'm reaching out to see if there's anything I can do to help you get started with your LinkedIn ad campaign. Are you ready to go? No. Ad campaign for what? For what?
Only one way to find out.
I don't.
Tell him yes.
Been ready, son.
I am the ad campaign. I don't
You
need
are.
help.
You are.
Oh, okay.
I need a lot of help.
That's
Yo,
what I call.
Corey this week. We love to see it. I can't wait to ruin your day.
That's what I tell people.
Please ruin my
about
day.
you. I'm like,
It would
he's
make
the
my
ad
day much
campaign.
better. Again, with the tongue. It's just. She's doing it. She did it on purpose. She should put the glasses on too.
So
If Pat was here, he'd be having a field day with me right now.
Sure.
oh yeah, he would. Yeah. Like Pat's legit like a member of your fan club. I'm just not sure what rank he is, but he's a member of your fan club, Corey.
He got really mad at me when I didn't use Fisto as the thumbnail, and I don't even know what that is. I think I don't remember. I don't even remember why we were talking about fisting on that episode.
It was something just about the inappropriateness of that name.
Sure. Yeah.
This, yeah.
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 I
mean, there are robots that do that now, I guess. So.
Sure about
Yeah.
lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as our listeners go out there, if you want to do some things for us, like definitely support the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network by joining our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. And there's tiers that you figure out is right for you. Any of these tiers can earn you perks such as early ad-free access to this and other podcasts, as well as exclusive access to spotlight interview access threads. You also get voting rights on Video Game Book Club and more. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. As always, though, your listenership and your viewership is always enough for us. So if you're watching the video on YouTube right now, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a thumbs up or a comment. Like we'd love both actually, but if you gotta do one or the other, we understand. If you're listening to podcast services like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a review. Check out our merch store also at TeePublic with over 50 designs to rep your favorite shows and much more. And as always, you can check out all of our content, reviews, articles, and more over on bossrush.net. All right.
That reminds me 2 things. Yarri, I need to consult with you about a color palette for design. Second of all,
a compliant color palette.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Just want to make sure. We need to know. We need to have all that above board.
After Dark fans, okay. Here's what you get for just $1. Okay, I'm pimping our show out for a second. Okay, for $1, you
Pimp
get
it, buddy. Pimp it.
You get you get the show 2 weeks early, right? Not only do you get the show 2 weeks early, but your question is guaranteed to be read on the show. Okay? Just saying. Guaranteed. Prioritized, as they say. Okay? Just saying. 2 weeks early. So if you're listening on free feeds, you are 2 episodes behind, pal.
Yeah.
So you're missing this. Okay? 2 weeks.
Let's be
2
real.
weeks of this.
You're missing LeRon.
That's
Yeah.
true.
For real. For
Yeah,
real.
nobody's
I
here
don't.
for me.
I'm here for you, Corey. Matt's here
You're
for
here
you.
because of me,
Yarri's
Ron.
here for
There's
you.
a difference.
I am actually because you and Ed welcomed me to the flock.
Yeah, we did. It's hard as something.
Like that old AC/DC song, "Hot as a rock." Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know exactly that song you're talking
You're the
about.
music person.
I am. I'm the music person. I'm the movie
He
person.
definitely is the music person.
So, anyways, good times. Oh my god, I hate you so much.
It's back. It's back.
When will Stephanie be back from the war?
You asked to be here.
Matt, you need to tone it down. Like people
You
want to disinvite you from the
offered.
table.
Fair.
Hey,
I
said
I look at this face in the mirror every morning. I'm surprised I'm invited anywhere.
Listen. If Matt goes, I go.
Uh-oh.
I didn't say anybody had to leave. I'm asking for an addition to the
Yeah.
squad.
that's fine. Yarri and I will do this by ourselves. You guys can go do whatever you guys need to do.
Hey, bet.
Bye.
Hey, Matt. I'm about to text you right now.
Monster Hunter, let's do it.
Exactly.
Are you talking about the video game, or are you talking about
You bring
something else?
You bring the long sword, and I got
Yes.
you bring the long sword, and I got the insect glaive.
Oh no, these all are.
Oh, did you
sexual.
forget who you're talking to? Did you forget? Oh,
My.
we have to put
my
this on the
bad.
back burner now. You know how much I fucking hate longsword mains in Monster Hunter.
That's why I said it, just to get you riled up.
I will bring a heavy fucking bowgun before I ever touch a goddamn longsword. Ugh, I feel like I need a shower now just thinking about it.
Maybe. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Kiel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.
All right, so you guys have questions, and we have some answers. So we're gonna go right into our listeners' questions. And as always, a reminder: if you have topics or questions, please join the Boss Rush Network Discord server or tweet at Boss Rush Network, or you can also tweet at Boss Rush Podcast. Also, you can comment on the Patreon post each week as it comes out, or you can just email us at bossrushafterdark@gmail.com. So we're gonna get started, and Yarri, if you have the doc in front of you, I invite you to read our question from Sam Hall tonight.
All right. So Sam Hall says, "Hi guys, I've been playing Stellar Blade, and I wasn't sure which show to ask this question for, so I decided to ask it here. Why does the industry make such a fuss out of sexy video game characters? Why are some characters like Bayonetta and 2B looked at as strong, empowered females because of their sexiness, but others like Eve from Stellar Blade or Miranda from Mass Effect get trounced by the internet mob? And a side note that this is After Dark, have you found any characters sexy? Thanks."
Garrus Vicarian.
Yeah, everybody needs to tune into the previous Boss Rush podcast that we just recorded tonight. You'll learn some stuff about how we feel about certain video game characters as far as sex appeal and attractiveness.
So I have thoughts.
Yeah. Yarri, please go first on this. Go first on this one because I know specifically you were thinking about tackling this as a boss rush banter or even a feature piece on the website soon.
Yes. So I don't want to put this. So one of the most tired like video game discussions that I'm like over is the titty good, titty bad conversation. Because anytime a woman appears in a video game, we get that. However, I do want to say, as somebody who is a big fan of Near Automata and who also like paid attention, the specific place titty good, titty bad actually comes from a from a podcast I was listening to when Bayonetta came out about people like there's a little bit of I think you used this word this term before recency bias. Maybe it was Corey used it. But like when these characters came out, they were not automatically looked at as like people were calling Yoko Taro a freak. Let's start here about 2B.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole thing about being able to do the upskirt thing and all them asses on fire. Okay, when Bayonetta stuff came out, people were like, is this maybe a little too much? Like people always critique female characters. Now, when we look at the long and short of it, like why does a character look considered empowered versus not? I mean, when we look at 2B and Bayonetta, we can look at one, their story arcs. Like Bayonetta is the title character, right? 2B is the title characters, and their sexiness and their sex appeal is not necessarily is a core design choice. It is part of the design philosophy, but the actual narrative that's built around them is not necessarily built around their sex appeal, especially 2B. 2B's entire story is 2B, and let's not forget A2. Yes, ma'am. That entire story is centered around this Nier Automata is one of my favorite games. That is a examination of what it means to be human. Like the idea of if you replace enough parts of a ship, at what point is the ship no longer a ship? Put onto a sci-fi background with characters that are not human. And one of the things that makes them human, that humanizes them, is a relationship with love, with sex, with anger, with hatred. That is a huge portion of the things that Yoko Taro, throughout all of his games, explores, from Drakengard all the way through the plays and all that other shit, right? So this is not simply a, titty get. And we look at Eve from Stellar Blade. Samuel. Can I call you Samuel? Darling, my love, sweetheart. You look me in my soul and tell me that the way that Stellar Blade is formatted, can you tell me based off of the trailers and what has gone about Stellar Blade, what is going on with Eve from Stellar Blade outside of tits and ass? I didn't know there was some weirdo alien shit until people started playing the game. Like, I don't and the alien shit is cool. It's a good game. But the appeal of that game was specifically these cute characters with their ass and titties out playing, like, so you can play. And then a bunch of humans who perhaps may need to touch a little grass, go outside, feel the fresh air, got upset because you couldn't see her hip bones. Like, come on now. Talking about some censorship or stuff like that.
What was the game? I want to say, I don't remember, but there was a game that had someone on Twitter talking about vagina bones.
I believe that was Stellar Blade.
That was Stellar Blade.
No. This is from back in the day. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Oh, it's Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mithra has like very
Vagina
defined like pelvic bones front and back. I have the amiibo back there if you guys really want to see.
Yes. Get it.
Because they're also there.
There was someone saying like, oh, they took out her vagina bones or something like that. Because-
Nintendo patched it for the American audience because they did the same thing for Xenoblade Chronicles X with sliders.
Why are they
for
always censoring for
different
the
body
for
parts.
the American audience? Why?
I don't know. I don't
Have
know.
you met this country?
What? Well, you know? Oh no, that's a fair point because like all the other countries look at us as like some oversexed, godless country. So why are they
Yeah.
censoring it for us?
We're
Because-
oversexed and godless, but we were also started by puritanical assholes.
Yeah. So you find that like
Oh, and colonizers and racists and slave owners.
you know,
Let's just touch it all.
the trifecta.
Mhm.
But one of the things about like when you say like trounced by the internet mob, like these characters aren't real, right? It is oftentimes these male creators who are choosing. We were just talking about Mass Effect. Them people put so much effort in that moose knuckle and ass on Miranda.
Yeah.
And they made sure that you saw that every time. And Miranda, I actually love her as a character. I think she has a really cool, interesting story.
Yeah,
But, however, in comma,
I feel like she was over sexualized.
yeah.
You know, in her concept design, in my opinion, and don't get me wrong, like I appreciate artwork, I appreciate pretty artwork, I appreciate stuff like that, but I feel like when someone's wearing a uniform, it's a military uniform. Well, technically, like she was wearing like because Cerberus doesn't really have like a uniform per se and stuff like that, but she was wearing basically a spacesuit and stuff like that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this is like
This is more naked than being naked.
yeah.
Like I said,
I
they
mean,
worked hard on that moose knuckle.
and you know, even when you put her in the civilian outfit, because like you do get an alternative civilian outfit, it still looked, you know, like very sexual, you know.
Yeah. Like she
Yeah.
was clearly designed by people to be sexualized. Eve was designed by people to be sexualized, and that's the first thing. That's the way that they present these characters.
Mhm.
And so when we talk about internet mob, I mean, yeah, there is a layer of people there's a section of the internet that's never going to be happy. But I think playing it that like, well, why are some characters looked at that? I mean, it's contextual. I mean, context is always going to be important. And on the other hand, remember how people acted with Last of Us 2? And they were like, why did they make an ugly character? Or what was it with
Oh yeah. Then when they finally hit you with realism, it was not realistic. I'm like, yeah, because like I remember the backlash with Aloy. Like they were like, why did they have to make her look so mannish? So I was like, like people are living in like basically post-apocalypse, neo prehistoric like time frame, and you're asking why a chick that like you know like lives off the land like why she has no makeup on? Like shut the fuck up.
like I know
And
you've
then
never
let's
seen a real
not talk
woman,
about
but
the-
you don't have to say it so loud.
Let's not talk about the reverse of this with Tifa in the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Because they're like, where are her tits? She had
Lara
tits in the first
Croft?
one.
They're in Rebirth. If you haven't seen,
No, I'm just saying, but like
Oh,
that was
Are
that
they
was and because I remember someone circulating an old Jenna Marbles video about sports bras, and that was pretty cool. But they were saying like, when did Tifa become flat chested? Because she was basically, you know, Madonna in the early '90s in the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, and it had about like 7 polygons or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But and then people would post the Jenna Marbles video where she was saying, "Oh, a guy started flirting with me at the gym, asked me out." I said, "Oh, fine, I'll go out with him." And then and then when we actually went out on the date, he was completely shocked by, you know, the transformation that I made, because she starts the video in gym attire, you know, sports bra, no makeup, but then she goes, I went from looking like this to whoosh, and then she has like a dress on, proper attire, and everything's not out, but she looks, you know,
Put together.
like she looks date ready, put together, makeup, you know, all of that. And the guy was talking about, well, this was unexpected. And he's like, well, let's talk about the beauty of the sports bra. Like, because that's, and then she goes on like, the sports bras hide a ton. They're designed that way because if you ever try and run around with tits, it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing.
Yeah,
I'm not a dude. I
can
can't really comment because my A cups are A cups, but you know.
I got a little bit, not a
Yeah.
lot, but I got more than a couple Beast things. And yeah,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
need compression. Compression is
You
important.
need support.
You need support. You need compression a little bit. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I think that's really like, because the industry doesn't. It's not the industry that makes it. It's the consumers.
Yeah.
The people who
It's the
are receiving
consumers.
this product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and let's not talk about like the pendulum swinging both ways, you know, because for example, like we have certain games, you have certain games that you know will not get released over here because like the actual owners of the IPs are like, nope, if it hits PCs, like they're gonna put mods out there, and we're gonna see our male characters like they're jank all swinging, you know, stuff like that, you know, like it's the consumers that does this stuff. I mean, like just for example, like you know, like somebody practically ruined like a lot of Capcom games for us, and you know, forced Capcom to put DRM back in their games because someone was playing with fucking nude mod and actually decided to have that. Yeah, on stream. Yeah, like you know, they didn't realize they had the mod turned on because the game has RE Engine where like it's really easy to mod these games, stuff like that. So yeah, like they participated in a international stream tournament. And I forgot. Oh, my Chun-Li's naked. Like it's the consumers. It ain't the industry that's making a fuss out of this stuff.
Right. So when you look at that, and then on the other hand, on the other spectrum, like women, they do engage in video games.
100%.
AFAB people do engage in video games, and like we are allowed to, on a case-by-case basis. Like there's nothing that says we have to find all characters all the time to be good or bad or whatever. That can change.
Yeah.
You know, that can change person to person. That can change day to day. You know what I mean? And just because I like the way a character is presented in video game A doesn't mean I have to appreciate it. Like I love the way that characters are depicted in Hades too. God, it's like
they're so sexy in that game.
They're so sexy. It's giving like the Mummy 1999 in 2024. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
there are ways to do characters that are attractive, that are sexy, that are fun, that are interesting, that are complex. And there are ways to do it that I'm like, there have to be easier ways to jerk off.
Here's how I knew we were in trouble. Like, remember Metroid Zero Mission came out, and then when we discovered there was a brand new like epilogue to the game where Samus loses her power suit, and we see the Zero suit for the first time. I remember someone walking into GameStop and asking me, hey, like which game features naked Samus? And it threw me for a second there because for a second there I thought he was talking about Smash Brothers, but Zero Suit Samus had not gotten to Smash Brothers by that point yet. I was like, naked Samus. I was like, what? Like, it threw me.
It is all over the internet, dude.
Yeah, and then I couldn't find out. I was like, oh, this is what's underneath her power suit, you know. And then like, it's not naked, like it's a full body suit, you know. And if you're trying to glean some type of sexual like gratification off of that 2D sprite image, you have a problem.
I'm just saying, there has to be better ways to get off. There has to.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
In fact, I know there are.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. You know. Now, Bayonetta is in my top 5 of all time favorite female video game characters, and yeah, a lot of it is because of her sex appeal, but also because like if you honestly like what drew me to Bayonetta so fast is because like Bayonetta is the Bayonetta games are technically clones of Devil May Cry. They are, but I feel like when the first Bayonetta game came out, it was doing something a lot better than the Devil May Cry games were doing at the time. And I was like, I'm here for it. And it wasn't just because of like the gratuitous tits and ass, like it went back to that fast, frantic like game action and stuff like that. And you know, like and yeah, like her shtick of like her being naked and her hair being like her actual clothing item. That was very well explained in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like she's running around naked all the fucking time.
Well, and also like that's not the point of Bayonetta either.
Yeah.
Like, it's like throughout those games, Bayonetta is more than who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just good character writing.
Right.
Whereas you look at, like, I'll say this, it's one of the most mechanically sound fighting games ever, but it's really hard to play. Dead or Alive.
I almost said Dead or Alive earlier.
Like, Dead or Alive is one of the soundest fighting systems.
The
But,
original Dead or Alive, though, like, man, oh my god, it got sullied because of those jiggle physics.
But, like, the jiggle,
That
like,
Gynax jiggle.
like, my goodness, it is.
It'd be easier to explain porn. Sometime.
Yeah, like, it's
yes, yeah.
It's, I'm like, I remember so my partner and I, for a time before we had a child, we would get together and like play a fighting game here and there. And she started looking for fighting games to play. And she's like, have you heard of Dead or Alive? I'm like, yes. And she's like, what's the deal? I'm like, look, there's no deal. I'm not really gonna.
There's no deal.
There's no deal. It's just boobs. Like they just want.
Yeah, they didn't soften DOA until DOA 3 came out on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, like it is just tits, unfortunately. But it's basically tits burying one of the probably easiest and most fun and highest ceiling fighting games in the industry.
I don't know. I feel like Virtual Fighter like one ups all the fighting games because like you have to be so technical, like you play Virtual Fighter.
Dead or Alive has an entryway for everybody. I feel like
that is true. It has an easier point of entry.
Virtual Fighter is like you have to understand spacing and and move distance and all of that. And if you don't really see that, you're gonna think it's just designed to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Dead or Alive, none of those characters are characters. None of them are written well. None of them have, in my opinion, good stories.
I wouldn't pose a question. I wouldn't pose a question to you guys. You know, since we're talking about like gratuitous, I guess is the word, in video games. Like when we have like games like Dragon Age or even the Monster Hunter games, for example, like female armor. Who are they doing that for? Are they doing that?
They're not doing it for me.
That's part of the design docket. For Yarri, not for Yarri.
Okay, you know what? Here's my favorite quote. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's applicable here.
Okay.
As a feminist, I'm appalled.
Mm-hmm.
As a lesbian, I'm delighted. But no, like
as a feminist, you have my curiosity. As a lesbian, you have my attention.
But no, one of my favorite games of all time is Dragon's Dogma, like the original Dragon's Dogma, right?
Oh hell yeah!
And one of the best armors in the game. I'm talking in game. Best armor.
Bikini.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like a thong.
Nipple triangles and a thong. Yep.
Are you out your goddamn mind? No.
Like what's this protecting?
That's Capcom, son.
what's this protecting? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's this protecting? These coins, I guess. Like, Come on now. I think a really good example, actually, the way that a character, like, because like trite like character writing doesn't work either. I think a lot about in near Gestalt, where the older one, where you have Papa Near versus like Kid Near, right?
Yeah.
And around the same time, at least that I became aware of it, was also when I think it was Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, Metal Gear 5.
The one with the girl who photosynthesized through her skin, right?
Oh yeah,
Wyatt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like this reason why that she was dressed like that, you are full of shit. Just admit
That is
Like,
a
you want it.
metaphor. It
This
is
is
a
like
metaphor.
that's like Metal Gear Solid 3, the boss. Like, why was all her stuff like hanging open? You know, and it
Right.
wasn't just. And I know it wasn't just to showcase her scar. I know that was not it.
Whereas Kaine, the character who I'm bringing up here, in Nier, the thing about Kaine's character, it was very well explained.
100%.
So spoilers for a 15-year-old game now.
Mhm.
But in this game, Kaine is there's like some weird demon stuff. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, her body has been taken over.
hmm
And what she does is the outfit that she's wearing, everywhere that demon had taken over her body, she covered with the little dress. And everywhere that was still her, she left free.
hmm
And also, Yoko Taro has no problem. I also like tits and ass. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to think about a reason why.
Yeah.
And reason why these characters.
Yeah.
And I always thought that Kaine's actual story, because this was you get time with Kaine. Like, she has the entire second run of the game
Is
is
Kaine.
spent realizing that Kaine understands more than you realize. She understands so much more about the world, and you learn about her story, and she is given the opportunity to be the protagonist of her story, even while all this other shit is going on.
Mm-hmm.
She is not. She had a life before, and she, assumed, if you know, you know. But if things hadn't gone the way they had, she would have a life after the main character. She wasn't waiting for Papa Nier, because that's the version that I played, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the good version.
Sure.
She wasn't waiting for Papa Nier to come in and take control of shit. She was already out here doing things, and I think that's really important. Honestly, I think that's so important when we talk about what makes a character get brushed off as just sex or whatever, versus what makes them seem strong and empowered. Which this is no shade to you, Sam. I just hate the term strong and empowered because it's meaningless. It's a way for characters
Dog whistling.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Dog whistling.
And it's it's not that we want strong, empowered women. We want characters to be written the same way. That's why fighting games oftentimes are actually really great. Most of the characters are all given the same level of shallowness and or depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for your two main characters who are going to get more depth than everybody else. With the exception of that, everybody's treated the same. And that's what is being asked for, put women in your game, and when you write them as actual characters.
Write them realistically.
Write them however you would any other character. One of my favorite female characters of all time is, oh gosh, and now I can't remember her name, because why would I remember anything when I need to? Saga Anderson from Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
People,
but to hear the internet, she was one of the most dullest female characters ever.
Just say you hate black women and go.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. I was like, is it because she's a black protagonist in the game?
Because she's
popular
no
game
different than any other character, but she had stuff that made sure that I know that they thought about how her being black and how her being a woman and how her being a mother would impact her character, but not to the point that those were the only things about her.
Yep. Same as the main character in Forspoken. People are oh, she's so 2D, 2-dimensional, I'm really? Because I can name a whole bunch of non-ethnic heroines that are the exact same way, and y'all praise them. And I'm not even trying to make this about race. If I'm being honest, I'm just it's really funny how the community treats women in gaming. Because when Resident Evil 3 remake came out, everybody was pissed because Jill was not in that damn Woman in the Night outfit that she was in Resident Evil Nemesis. I'm first of all, who's gonna survive a damn zombie apocalypse? Looking like a half-dressed hooker. People were mad because she actually had a functional outfit on. She had jeans. She had a shirt that was essentially a tank top, but beyond that, she looked like she could at least hold her own in a situation like that. Plus, being dogged out by the most hyperactive tyrant ever in gaming history. But people were pissed, like, where's her other outfit at? And then when you unlock it, people still weren't happy about that.
Of course not. Why would they be?
I was like, I like it when characters look realistic. I mean, I'd rather have Jill Valentine in her Resident Evil 3 remake outfit than Chris Redfield, what he became in Resident Evil 5. Man, we all got quiet there.
I pretty much said all my thoughts.
Yeah.
The side note: have we found any characters sexy? Yeah. Female and male characters alike. Yeah, like some of them are just well drawn. You know, some are well drawn, well conceptualized and stuff like that. Yeah, like
Zachary.
like yeah, I can name a few. I'm not going to, but I can name a few.
Coward.
Okay, fine.
Well, before we get there, I just want to say the Kaine Emil story in Nier is one of the few video game stories that continues to make me cry. I love that. I love them together so much. It's beautiful. But Zagreus from Hades can fucking get it.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, shoot, he could sit down in the corner and read the dictionary to me. I'm just gonna sit there and be entranced.
Cerberus is always the best boy. I mean, heck, most of Hades 1's, I haven't played 2 yet, but most of 1's cast can get it. So, but before we waste too much time there, we should probably move forward.
Corey, you've been quiet.
I just was listening. I don't know.
He's been judging us. He's been sitting there like, wow, they have a lot to say, and they're also a bunch of horny gamers.
I didn't say a word. I was just working on some stuff.
Oh my god, I know what question I'm going to ask next time.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay, so in our chat, Yarri has said that they need to be wrapped up in the next 15 minutes. So, in our document, the one true James via Discord said, Yarri, can you make up a question off the top of your head that will knock Corey into next week?
Hey, Corey.
Yeah.
What are your tips to giving the woman the perfect orgasm in the shortest amount of time possible?
Yo.
I already answered this question about 4 weeks ago.
Well, I didn't hear it.
Was that on this show?
Yeah. It was.
Wait. Does this go back to the Pokemon thing?
No.
Oh, it wasn't that. Even though you should say that one again, though.
We'll save that for later. No, we were talking about our hidden sexual talents, and I said that I have an amazing tongue, and the best way, the fastest way to give a woman an orgasm is to do the ABCs with your tongue. And my personal record is M.
Damn. Okay. Let me see.
He's well practiced because like
So you get halfway through the alphabet. Is what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why can't you go the distance, bro?
Well, no, I think it's.
I'm just messing with him.
That is not me.
If he goes the distance, he's doing a bad job.
Yeah. Look, if you round the horn more than once, you're doing a terrible job. Okay.
It's true.
That's true. That is true.
If you start doing numbers and you start getting into double-digit numbers, you're doing a bad job.
Yeah, you're doing a very bad job.
You just don't know how to find it. Okay.
Well, by the time you hit M, you are in double digits. What are you talking about?
Hey.
No, I mean, like if you go A to Z and then you start doing numbers, which is like.
Oh! I got you.
So you're not repeating your letters, you know what I mean? So.
Some people don't have a refractory period. You could keep going. That's all I'm going to say.
It must be blessed.
I didn't say I stopped. I just said that's. You get the little squirm worm movement once it's in.
It's never a dull moment here at After Dark. I swear. I swear.
Reminds me of an old Parliament song, Mr. Wiggles the Worm.
I just heard that song. Oh my god! I just heard that song a couple days ago. I was like, man, they cannot say anything about how nasty our music is right now in this modern era because like our parents and our grandparents were listening to some. I'm just gonna say trash. like that stuff. Ooh, I like that stuff. That stuff would make the freaking walls sweat. That's how
Not only
nasty
that,
this
but
is.
some of the relationships that these people were proud of. Shirley calling up that woman and talking about, yeah, I don't know if y'all know this song. Basically,
I know the song. I know the song.
I know LeRon knows. I'm talking about our other two friends. This is the cultural. There's this song where he says, "My name is Shirley, and that man that you're with, he's mine. I have him from the tip of his head down to the bottom." Basically, she says all this stuff for this man. And when he come home to her. So she need to leave her man alone. Shirley, leave that man. I promise you, it's not good enough for you to be out here calling this woman out her name.
Yeah. I love how like finally because Jolene, the original Dolly Parton song was like basically like don't come for my man, and so by the time we're in 2024 and Beyonce's got her rendition of it, and now everybody's hip to it. It's like girl, like don't worry about that fucking man.
Don't worry about that man. Don't worry about that man. Don't worry about that man at all.
Don't worry about that fucking man. Like let him go.
Although I have seen a theory that Jolene was really more about how like Dolly can't stop herself from wanting to cheat on her man with Jolene. You hear how she talk? We don't know anything about Dolly's man in that song.
We do not.
You know what we know? Ivory. What is it? What like her locks of ivory hair or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Like, we know how much of a bad bitch Jolene
is. Oh boy. All right. We got any final thoughts?
Jolene, don't come for my man. Please take me.
There's nothing I can do if you want him, girl. I have been awake since 5 a.m.
You as well?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so everyone, that's going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. I want to go ahead and thank everyone out there who's been watching and or listening to Boss Rush After Dark. Remember, this is the alternative topical podcast for adults on the Boss Rush Network. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review on podcast services. Also, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, leave some comments. Once again, discoverability and visibility, that's what it's all about. And all that stuff does bring us to the top of the algorithm and into everybody's feeds. And that's what we want. All right, everyone. Yarri, Corey, Matt, thank you guys. Y'all been awesome. I love
Likewise.
you. I love you.
I'm always awesome.
All right. We're out for the night. Think about some of the stuff that we talked about tonight, especially about like is people just going nuts about censorship in video games and like the way females are treated? I say yes, but we would love to hear your thoughts. So please hit us up on our Patreon, talk to us about it, let us know. Hit us up on Discord, talk to us, let us know. And on that note, we're signing off. We'll be back with another all new episode of Boss Rush After Dark coming at you soon. This has been episode 111. Signing off.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Kiel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.